Mercy! Welcome on back, everybody. A huge NFL Sunday we got going on here. Big time collab we have in the making. You already know what time it is. Alongside my man, the one, the only, Konstantine from the Strictly NFL pod. Con, how we feeling today, my brother?
Good, man. The slate is kind of nasty, but we're gonna pick some stuff out. We're gonna make some money. You know how it goes over here.
It's definitely a nasty bag of games today. But you know what? My buddy Kilkenny, if anybody's familiar on Twitter, he drops the moonshot bets all the time. He said, despite it being, week 18 NFL, there's a lot of guys in these rosters that you could nitpick and get good value off of on some picks today. So we're here to run you guys through that. What's happening, AJ? How we feeling, my brother? What's going on? Flanders, what's going on? Good morning to you. Who would have thought on Twitch? Mr. Flanders on Twitch. Double R. What's going on, baby? Can't have a conversation without Con in it. That's true. Very, very true. I'm excited to have him on, and I'm excited to talk some bets with you guys. All hits, no misses, like the Knicks against the Sixers. Yeah, man.
Yeah, how you like that? How you feeling?
Yeah. He had to beat that L. But one thing about Double R is that he's one of those Philly fans that's actually going to be able to accept the loss, and yeah. I've got to respect that. Got to respect when Philly fans can actually take an L, because not many of them can. So when you come across a good one like Double R, you got to keep them around. So what's going on, everybody? Hey, Anna, thanks for tapping in. What's good, boys? Let's see who this is over here. So, Con, I got to ask you, what are your top games that you're really looking at in today's slate? Because like you said, there's nothing. What up, Simo? How we doing, baby? Nothing too crazy, but some places that we could look to make some money. So talk to me on what's your favorite game so far today.
Yeah, so I think just overall, we can just start without or just start putting out a favorite play. My favorite play has to be Kendra Miller anytime touchdown. Going to be out. You're not even just betting on the Saints really to move the rock a lot. You're just betting on one possession, right? And it's not something the market's really caught up to. On DraftKings, I had him. I put down, I think it was plus 400, so I put down 5 to just win 25.
Okay.
It's an incredibly just safe bet. I mean, it's not even lunch money, and you could, make $20.
Yeah, I can't say I hate that. I mean, the only thing that really keeps you shying away from the Saints is that offense. But here we are, week 18, where there's no holds barred. I feel like week 18 is that 1 week throughout the year where everything that you have come to know within the past 2 months of football, because obviously as you go through the regular season, you're, getting more towards the postseason. The trends get more and more kind of identifiable. You see what offenses are really cooking, who's going to get the rock. But week 18 is that wild card. I feel like you really can find ways to make some money. So Funk with Magic says, picks today, Baker 25 plus passing yards, Mike Evans 50 plus receiving, Chris Godwin 50 plus receiving, Mike Evans 4 plus receptions, Chris Godwin 4 plus receptions, K-Dot and 2 receptions, and Baker 1 plus touchdown with Tampa money line. I'd like to see the parlay, the odds on that one, but I got to say, I'm rolling with Baker. He needs to reach the top. He needs to win this ball game. And let's face it, they're playing the Carolina Panthers team who is extremely bad, right? I think this is where Baker's going to take advantage. Coming off of a lackluster game last week, it only makes sense that he makes this push, and he's getting a whole $1 million if he puts this team into the playoffs. So I really like Baker tonight. Vegas will rig the incentive bets, I promise. I mean, last night, if you guys saw, Dalton Schultz, Con, I'm not sure if you saw this. Dalton Schultz needed 6 receptions for $250,000, and he got 5. I mean, damn. I don't know if you saw as well. There was a little bit of a play chart on some of the last few plays, and they were covering Dalton Schultz like he was prime Rob Gronkowski out here. They're throwing 3 guys at him. The coverage was madness, and all because this guy needed one more catch for $250K. So I don't know. That's kind of a rough beat if you pick Dalton Schultz. But a guy like Baker, who has the ball in his hands, he's controlling the game throughout. I really like him to take that dub today and to get that incentive money. So I'm not a fan of anybody else's necessarily props on that team. I mean, I like Mike Evans, maybe some CG work, but I don't know if they play the whole game. Baker could get them out to an early lead. I think that they're going to go on cruise control against a team like the Panthers. How do you feel about that game?
Yeah, I think if there's something I like, I think it might be a Godwin touchdown. Because, I mean, I know if you guys are following like a lot of the big guys on Twitter, they're always talking about how Godwin is not scoring as much as he could be compared to his targets, catches, yards, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's another game where Bucks should have their way. And Godwin is about a plus 300 odds for a touchdown. So I like Godwin for a touchdown. And then I also like the over in this game. I think it's like a 36.5 line, which seems kind of insane to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So over 36.5, I think that's pretty nice to put the over there.
Yeah, it could be one of those stink shows that just keeps scoring, right? We could see just no defensive prowess whatsoever from these two teams, and I don't hate that by any means. I want to pass another pick by because another guy that we're talking about these incentives, DJ Moore, he needs, I believe, 5 catches today for his incentive to kick in as well. So I'm going to take DJ Moore on the receptions. His is 4.5 right now. I think he needs either 5 or 6. And with the way that they've been playing, with the way that Justin Fields has been able to get him the ball, I think it's going to continue throughout this week. I mean, they've actually looked like a somewhat competent offense when that offensive line obviously is stable. So I'm excited to see how they can continue this this kind of trend heading into this week. And their matchup, I think, is favorable as well. Let me just check that out. Yeah, they're playing the Packers today. I mean, the Packers secondary is weak, right? I mean, it's really just the season of love over there with Jordan Love. Shout out to Andy B. But aside from that, not much. Chris Godwin needs 27 yards for 1,000 too. Keep that in mind.
I'm also going to check out the Packers injury report. I'm not sure if they still have like that little beef going with Jair Alexander.
Yeah, where he didn't he call somebody out and he got benched for a little bit.
Yeah, so what happened was they had the coin toss in Carolina, somewhere around that area, and he's from there. So he went out with the captains for the coin toss when he wasn't the captain.
Yes, he just kind of walked out. That's kind of crazy, right? Like, if you did that in high school, imagine.
That's a massive, like, you don't do that. But
that's a disrespect to the coaching staff, to everybody out there. It's kind of crazy. But I'm seeing some good statistics right here. Good news for Funk with Magic of these Mike Evans receptions. So Mike Evans over 4.5 receptions has cleared the past month of his games. And in the last 10, he's hitting that at a 50% rate. This year so far, he's hitting that at 56%. So I really like that. And I mean, the trend is right there. He had 7 receptions the last week, 10 the week before that. So with Baker needing this game himself, I really like that. Now, this is a question from Funk with Magic. Keep Fields or go get Caleb Williams? What are your thoughts?
I've become a bigger Fields fan as the season has gone on, but to me, it makes more sense in the world to get Caleb. Like you said, you're blocked with a contract or your quarterback contract, you get pick for Fields still. It should be a second, maybe a third, something like that, and you just give the staff the guy who they want, right? And it's not like you have to change up the playbook all that much because Caleb can still do a lot of the outside run stuff that Fields does. So I think it's pretty easy. But listen, I hope they trade that first pick to the Giants. That's where I'm at with that. But see what happens.
Now, let me ask you. I was thinking, because would it make sense to keep Justin Fields if you could go out and get kind of King's ransom for this number 1 pick in Caleb Williams? If you're the, Chicago Bears, what are you looking at and saying, okay, I'm satisfied with getting this in return for this number 1 overall pick? What does that package look like?
It's funny you say that because I was on PFF last night doing a mock, and I was thinking to myself, based on the trade last year where Carolina came up to number 1, what would the Giants have to go up for number 1? And start like our first next year, one of our second-round picks this year, probably another second-round pick, and then maybe a couple more thirds and fourths. So it's like,
and I'm seeing people talking about, I need Wandale thrown in there. People talking about, I need Sexy Dexy thrown in there. Now, this is getting out of control. I understand the number 1 overall pick, but listen, man, how often as a quarterback, number 1 overall came in and just changed the franchise tenfold? In the past recent years, that just hasn't been the case. I mean, across the board, even a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who has taken his team to the playoffs, people are sitting here having discussions whether or not he's been underwhelming early in his career. So is it really worth it, do you think, blowing up the ship necessarily, trading a ton of assets for this number 1 overall pick? Do you think Caleb Williams is ultimately going to be worth it in the end?
I think it depends, right? Like, if the Giants make that move and they trade up, first of all, I love Wandale, and I think Wandale is going to mature into one of the best slots in the league. Mm-hmm. But when you have a Brian Daboll, when you have just another guy who I'm really high on in Wanda is Brian Hyatt, and you have other avenues to add talent, you can bring in Caleb Williams and live with yourself. As long as it's not Dexter Lawrence, who's, as far as I'm concerned, one of the 15 best football players in the
He's a
world.
defensive anchor. He's literally the heart and soul of that Giants defense. How could you give that guy up?
To me, like he's like a top 5 player on defense, and then you got on offense, obviously Josh Allen, Mahomes of the world.
Yep.
You know, Justin Jefferson, and then you get into like Trent Williams, Andrew Thomas, those guys. I think Dexter Lawrence is the top 15 player in the league.
Absolutely, and it's kind of hard to dispute that at this point with the way that his past few seasons have gone. I can't hate on that by any means. So overall, would you say you're going to keep Justin Fields, or you think they go ahead and draft Caleb and get Fields out of there for as much value as they possibly could?
Overall, I'm probably drafting Caleb. But what I will say, and this kind of leads me into one of the more long shot plays I have for you guys today.
Okay.
In this Bears-Packers game, since you asked that question, everybody's asking that question, right? Justin Fields has to be thinking about that question in his head. So I have an all Bears parlay. I have Bears money line, like you said before, DJ Moore over 4.5 receptions. I have DJ Moore over 100 yards. Justin Fields 2 touchdowns. Justin Fields over 260 total yards, and a Justin Fields rushing touchdown for plus 4,000 odds. Playing $5 to win $205.
Wow, we're feeding families with that one right there. That sounded like a Mr. Flanders parlay if I ever heard one. Justin Fields audition game, yeah, that's essentially what it is, and I see exactly why Konstantine's coming with these sort of angles, because he's playing for his next. This is essentially he's playing for his next team. He's playing for his next contract. He's looking wherever he can get money, and I can't blame the guy because Chicago just hasn't seemed to be the right fit. But then again, he's shown flashes that he can be a solid NFL quarterback if given the time, if given the weapons. Barbaric Mango, he says he's taking the Packers money line. Boss man, love taking them into the playoffs with winning like $3 million in incentives. The Jordan Love era is here, and if he can continue slinging the rock the way he's been, I mean, hey, it's going to be a tough game. You know, those games against the Bears, those divisional matchups, never sweet. But one thing they are in Lambeau that is good for the Packers. They always play better at home. So I can't say I hate it. That's one thing I think I might be shying away from is the money line bets. I think I'm going to come a little bit more with the player props, just being that week 18. It could be all over the place in terms of what teams are winning and losing. So I can't say I hate it. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears won this game because, like Konstantine said, Justin Fields comes out and he's auditioning for this next team. I mean, he's going to be, slinging the rock and doing what he needs to do in order to win. If that means running the ball, you could get that anytime touchdown. But I think I do like the Fields props. Can't say I hate Packers money line, though. I think you could get a little bit of both, and maybe even sneak the over in there as well. I got a prop I want to run by you real quick, if you don't mind. As much as the Detroit Lions have been a great team this year, one thing they're really not great at is their secondary. That secondary has been getting eaten apart. So I think I'm going to take Nick Mullins over 265 passing yards today. Nick Mullins has been nothing to sniff at, man. He's been, relatively good standing in the pocket and just being able to step up and throw the ball for the Vikings. With that being said, I'm also going to take Justin Jefferson over 87.5 receiving yards. Like I said, that secondary of Detroit has been very, very lackluster. There's no CJ Gardner-Johnson, so everyone's been really eating, and the only way that the Lions have been able to beat these other teams is by outscoring them. I think that's going to be the same case here. Two teams that's kind of the name of those franchises, right? Minnesota Vikings the past few seasons, it's always been just offensive firepower with just a bad defense. And I'm not saying the Detroit Lions defense is necessarily awful, but it's not great. And I think that's an area where the Vikings could take advantage today, both Nick Mullins and Justin Jefferson. Flanders says he's getting Justin Jefferson at 101.5. Damn, like a fucking radio station over here. His line is that high. I don't know about that one. I think I was able to shag him in over at 87.5. I got this line early this morning, so that might be why. Hey, if that's the case and the line moved that drastically, I think that 87.5 might be a little bit of a lock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking over here at the game just because I wanted to look at some other lines. And I'm intrigued by KJ Osborne. Just no TJ Hawkinson.
No Hawk. KJ Osborne does love to step up in the most random of moments. So maybe a KJ anytimer?
Could be KJ. I see over here KJ for 40 yards is plus 205.
Wow, plus 205. That's on Oregon. DraftKings? Okay. Wow. Plus 205 would be a great snag there just because he does, like you said, no Hawk. That was kind of the safety blanket for Nick Mullins. So could be interesting. Who's the Packers tight end?
The Packers tight? Oh, so Musgrave came off of the IR this week. And Tucker Kraft had been putting up a nice amount of receptions.
No, Vikings.
It's either Johnny Munt or it's Josh Oliver, but I don't really like playing them because they could just split 50-50.
I was thinking maybe one of them for a sneaky anytimer. If you could get, sometimes you could get those backup tight ends at like plus 800, plus 2,000, something crazy. At that point, I'd be willing to maybe sneak one of those in. Yeah, Funk with Magic. I'm definitely down with the KJ Osborne 40 plus. I really like that line a lot for plus money at the extent of 200. That's somewhere you could sneak in. Like we said, week 18, there's a lot of variables in here. You could probably find some good value deep down. Got another one here for you.
If you're gonna go with that Mullins passing line too, like if the Osborne top hits, Mullins is looking a lot better. So if you want to put them together, that's
probably a little bit of a lag.
Yeah.
This man said I'm throwing everything he hears. You know what? We're going to round them up at the end, a couple of our favorites, and we'll make you a little parlay. Don't even sweat it, Flanders. Don't even sweat it. I got another pick for you for a team that's literally fighting for their life, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to be taking a ETN anytimer just because this is one team that actually has to win their game. Like I said, they're fighting for their survival up against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. I think this is finally where the Jaguars can get their offensive, firepower rolling a little bit again. The Titans defense is god awful. They allow some of the top points per game. I believe it was their 18th in points per game allowed to opposing teams. So I'm going to be rolling with the Jags today. This is somewhat of a get-right game, in my opinion, for Jacksonville, and I really need ETN to come out and do something because he's been pretty bad these past few weeks. And I think today, against a bad defensive line, is where he makes his name. His anytime touchdown is plus money, and when you get an opportunity for a guy like ETN or even like the Derrick Henrys, the CMCs, the ETNs, I'm going to throw them all in a group because these are all elite running backs. Jonathan Taylor's, Joe Mixon's. You could get these guys a plus money for an anytime touchdown against a bad defense. I think that's where you hop in and take that opportunity.
Yeah, I don't hate it. As far as the result of the game, I'm staying away from that. But an ETN anytime, I love it. I also love Hopkins over 49.5 receiving yards. I don't think that's his actual line, but I went down to the alternate.
Okay.
If he gets over 49, he gets a $1 million bonus. So,
that's
some real incentive over there.
Yeah. I'm seeing other people are very high on Derrick Henry today. I don't know how high I am on Henry, but I see a couple people putting him in for 2 touchdowns. That's been a trend this year as well. Is that 2 touchdown game, just betting on a guy to have 2 tutties? I don't know. Do you like that kind of thought process, that angle when it comes to betting? Do you like just putting in, hey, this guy to give me 2 touchdowns for plus 800, that's my lock? Like, did you like that kind of stance?
It depends who you're putting it on, right? Like, if I'm over here talking to somebody and they're trying to put it on Khalil Herbert, like, what's he doing? But
the Derrick Henry one today kind of makes sense. It's at plus 455 is what I see.
Underrated story. This could be his last game in Tennessee.
It could. Is this a Derrick Henry audition?
Could be. And, Mike Vrabel's not the type of guy to let somebody walk in, or I don't know if they're home or away today, actually. I forgot that. They're home. So I don't think he's the type of guy to let the Jaguars walk in there, division rival, clinch a playoff spot, without putting up a fight. You know what I mean? So I like Henry. And I checked the Hopkins line. So if you want to go over 40, it's minus 600, but that's, I don't know, I said that. I was going for. Anything 50 plus is minus 290.
I don't hate D-Hop by any means. He's been eating as of late. The only thing that scares me is that his team isn't playing for anything. That is literally the only part that's like, because he has some incentives today as well. He needs 49 yards or 7 catches, 49 yards in order to secure $1 million incentive bonus and 7 catches to secure a $250,000 bonus. But the team isn't playing for anything. So does that scare you off of his props a little bit?
Not really.
No, we're still hammering the D-Hop props. Okay.
I just think the Titans are that kind of organization to where it's like they never give a shit about anything. Like they're putting out a team on Sunday. They're gonna play. And Vrabel to me is not a coach. So
Vrabel's one of those coaches that I actually would trust to kind of keep D-Hop out there. Does that make sense? Like if it was one of these newer coaches, I totally would get Hey, go sit down, man. The season's over. Go rest. No need to risk an injury, especially a guy on a 1-year deal. But hey, I don't know. I got another pick for you. So I'm gonna be going with the Rams. Tyler Higbee, his over on yards, because he needs 5 receiving yards. That's it. So if his line is anywhere relatively close to 20 plus, I'm gonna be taking that. 5 receiving yards for $125,000. Shout out to Tyler Higbee. The Rams are having a little bit of a resurgent second half of their season. Do you see the Rams making any noise come playoff time? And a team like the Eagles, would they be a little bit nervous going into, say, a game against LA?
I mean, I think the Eagles should be nervous playing anybody right now, honestly.
Period. Sorry.
Not because they don't have the talent, because they're so shaky week to week, right? But depending on the matchup and how things are going to shake out, I think right now they'd be playing Dallas. So I think the best case scenario for the Rams is probably to draw like a Detroit Lions or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because going to Detroit, tough atmosphere, but you're getting a coach in his first time in a playoff game in Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Sean McVay, who's done everything, he's won everything, right? Stafford against Goff, a lot of storyline there. Just they got traded for each other, and the Rams are just top down, much more experienced. Cooper Kupp, were there. We just talking about how the Lions secondary is a big time liability.
Yep.
So I think the Lions hosting the Rams, that would be a big spot for the Rams to maybe upset.
Okay. Hey, seriously, man, that Rams team. And now I understand the 49ers aren't playing for anything today, but if the Rams come out and they put up a good performance against this 49ers team, I don't know, man. It's going to be showing some signs of encouraging play heading into this postseason for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I got another list of incentives here with some guys. Nelson Aguilar is 58 receiving yards away from $250,000. We're going to go ahead and hammer the under on that one. I think that's one of those incentives that's not hitting today. Whatever his line is, they're not playing for anything. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under on Nelson Aguilar. Another guy, Geno Smith, if he wins this game today and they make the playoffs, he's getting $2 million. So are we betting on Geno Bean and the Seattle Seahawks to come out and get us a W today?
Yeah. So as you guys know, I'm a Giants fan. So I put some bread on the Cardinals to win, just because if the Cardinals win, first of all, massive underdog, it's plus 60, something like that. I don't know if we can fact check me real quick, Matt, but also if that happens, the Giants would jump them from the 5th pick to the 4th pick. For that matter,
they would. That's huge.
And they're actually only minus 120 or plus 124. If I had to bet with my mind instead of my heart, I'd absolutely bet with the Seahawks. But I'm biased. You all are to some degree. So,
I mean, I can't. It's tough. The Cardinals play very good ball. They tend to play up to whoever they're playing. On that level, James Conner always seems to come out when you least expect it and give a 2-touchdown game. So honestly, I think he's another incentive guy as well. Somewhere on this list.
Yeah,
what was that?
I said Connor 2 touchdowns, just like you were saying.
Yeah, I don't hate it, man. I really don't. I think this is going to be a rushing style of game. It just makes a little bit too much sense for it to be his day. It does. It just seems like that right fit. You're in Arizona. 425 game. Geno, I'm sorry, but I might be fading Geno this week. And that my little brother's a huge Seahawks fan, but I think I'm going to be fading Geno Bean and taking the L for them. I think I might ride with the underdog here in Arizona. Now, Flanders, I'm not saying add that to the lay, but I think if I had to pick a side, I think I'd be taking the Cards. I don't know.
Also, just to bring it back to the point you were talking about with the incentives, if you guys can bet defensive players, Levante David needs 1 sack for a big incentive, and Chris Jones also needs 1 sack. I'm not sure if Chris Jones will affect that, but I know for a fact Levante is playing. If they win the division, and like I said, 1 sack gets you paid. So hopefully 1 sack gets you paid.
1 sack. Yeah, I'm even seeing a couple guys. Chris Jones, Levante David, Jadeveon Clowney need half of a sack. That's it. That's it. For each one, okay. Chris Jones, half a sack for $1.25 million right now. That's a cash out.
See if he's playing.
Huge cash out. Who else we got on here? I really like this. I want your thoughts on this one. I know they're playing the Browns today, so that's kind of a tough spot. But Joe Mixon is 2 rushing touchdowns away from $100,000. Do you think that he could go try hard and be the only person on this Bengals team to score? And by score, I mean put in 2 for us today.
Let me see, because I think the Browns clinched their spot already.
They did.
Yeah, so they're probably resting a lot of people. I mean, look, the Bengals have something to play for, even though I think they're essentially eliminated.
Yep.
They can win today and finish the season over 500, which is going to matter to ownership and all this stuff. Essentially, like, just double check that if Myles Garrett, etc., are all kind of out. I think that's fine for it.
Right. I mean, there's nobody else on that team. I don't know if Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase is going to be playing today. He's had that shoulder injury. They might just tell him to sit down. I don't know.
Underrated storyline. I think Jake Browning is not that bad.
He is definitely not that bad.
Yeah.
Could we see him going and getting like a Gardner Minshew job somewhere else after the season?
Probably. Like,
right?
Think about it. He's played well. I mean, they don't really have too much juice in the backfield anymore. I don't think Mixon's been that good this year.
Yeah, he's been average, I'd say. Average.
Yeah. And then
yes, spurts. It's tough without Joe Burrow. I mean, that obviously opens up. Like, Mixon probably could have had an elite season. He was starting off having an elite season, and then obviously with the injury to Burrow, that'll set back your offense a lot. For sure. Flanders says he has the 1-5 legger. Hit me with that. What were we saying though?
I said Chase has been hurt. Higgins was hurt for a little while as well. So it's been
Tyler Boyd went flying. He's off the island at this point. That guy is MIA.
Yeah.
I got a couple running backs here who I want your opinion on. Austin Eckler is 110 yards away from $100,000. He doesn't get that, does he?
Hell no.
Austin Eckler stinks. Very much stinks. Austin Eckler is probably one of the more washed running backs that I'm going to be. That's my hot take. Next season, I'm picking Austin Eckler in the 3rd round with a fantasy pick. That's how I'm coming next year. He's playing the Chiefs.
Depending on where he lands, bro, I'm not drafting him. Period. Like, he just looks like he's fried rice, bro. Honestly. He
does, man. It was really concerning these past few weeks seeing him out the backfield just kind of look like a Josh Cribbs. Like, it's not, that ain't what you want to see out of your number 1 running back and a guy that was, a lot of people's number 1 overall pick in their league. So,
yeah.
Ew. Last night, I don't think Devin Singletary ended up getting it, but it was 165 yards, right? He needed on the ground for $125,000. That hurts. That definitely hurts. Alexander Madison is 124 rushing yards away from $650,000. Now, honestly, he probably should have had this in like week 10 if he just wasn't simply a bad running back. He's been so horrendous this season. Another guy, a backfield of him and Austin Eckler might not be able to be like a Pop Warner team. It's that bad. Him and Austin Eckler both have no juice in their knees. I don't really know the reason for Alexander Madison because you've been a backup your whole career. So you finally get this chance to kind of prove yourself as a number 1 back, and you completely just have fecal matter running down your thighs. It's disgusting. I can't stand his game, and I picked him as a 2nd overall or 3rd overall pick, or 3rd round pick, I'm sorry, in a fantasy draft, and he just completely tanked that season for me. So
I did not love Alexander Madison at all. Just because, like, they let Dalvin Cook go, but that wasn't saying Alexander Madison's that guy. That's been saying we don't think Dalvin's that guy. You know what I mean?
And you know what? Truthfully, I misconstrued it. I thought they were handing the keys, and I was like, yo, no Dalvin. It's time for his volume to go through the roof. Why not go with a guy like Alexander Madison? And here I am.
All you needed to know was that, like, 3-4 weeks when they just traded for Cam Akers. Like,
and then Cam Akers got hurt, right?
Yep. Also, just some stuff that just came out. DeAndre Swift is not playing today.
Swift is not playing. Okay.
Yeah.
So like nobody playing.
What's interesting is Kendra's touchdown odds is moving up, so he's getting more of an underdog to score, which is funny. But if you want Kendra touchdown and a Kenny Gainwell touchdown against the Giants, that's plus.
Do I dare say the name? Do I dare throw the name in that group as well?
Boston Scott.
Yep. Listen, he didn't put in the touchdown that last time, and he broke the streak. That was 9 straight games with a touchdown against the Giants. He broke the streak because he was the highest betted touchdown scorer that game. I can guarantee it. Listen, there was a fix in for that. When you put that much money on a guy who's, this is going to be his 10th straight, no, they are going to make sure that does not happen. However, I saw earlier this week, and again, shout out to my guy, Kenny the Moonshot. He got Boston Scott anytime touchdown at plus 18 this week before everyone was ruled out. And I think that is insane value because I went to lock it in about 2 hours after he locked it in. It was down to plus 350.
Yeah.
I'm sure now it's even lower with these guys being announced as out.
Yeah, I see right here it's plus 340. And I mean, I hope this game's not close because I kind of want us to just take our L and move on for this year.
Yeah.
If you were to bet on Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott, that's plus 1,000 right there by itself.
Wow. See, Flanders, I feel like this is where you could get in. This is the opportunity to add some lay juicers. And now he says, it sounds like Giants money line. I can't go. Listen, I want to lose this game desperately.
So bad.
I can't lie to you. We need to lose this game.
Bro, if there's a Giants fan watching right now, the optimal Giants parlay right here: Giants loss, Commanders win, Patriots win, Cardinals win. Then we pick number 2.
Yeah, that's it.
Guys, that's what you're rooting for. Now you're not rooting for a Giants win.
Yeah, we can't root for a Giants win right now. If you're rooting for the Giants to win, you're not a real fan.
Yeah.
Double R, you said you need to win this game desperately? How desperately, though? Because, you guys are obviously a playoff lock, but I think morale-wise, you probably want to win, right? But the thing is, there's no Smitty. Is A.J. Brown playing?
AJ's playing, yeah.
AJ's playing. There's no Smitty. There's no DeAndre Swift. And I think there's one other guy on the offense that's not playing. Maybe is Dallas playing?
Dallas Goedert's playing. I know Darius Slay's not playing.
Slay isn't playing. Okay. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I think it's still going to be – it's a divisional game, so I think it's going to be competitive. And the one thing about the Giants, whenever they're supposed to lose, they always love to come out and have a nice performance. So
aggravating.
It's so aggravating, man. It's the worst. We need something positive going into the playoffs. Yeah. And you know what? I think that could come from Jalen Hurts, honestly. If he throws for 2 touchdowns today and they're encouraging ones, and he said, say you guys are up come third quarter or even the half, throws for 2 first-half touchdowns, sit him on the side. I think that's the smartest move for the Eagles right now. Obviously, I'm coming from the other side as a Giants fan, so let's see some more props we're looking at. Anything else you got on your mind?
Let me double check earlier today.
I'm seeing. Ooh, I like this one, and shout out to this guy on Twitter. His name's MoSports. He just randomly. This isn't even from this week, but he just tweeted out this pick for last week. I think I'm going to take this one again, rolling in here. I'm going to take the Buccaneers first half and money line overall. I think you could get some value in that, being that you're going to take the first half win and the money line win. I really, really like that one. It's the Carolina Panthers, man. And like we said, Baker's playing for something. Let's go out and get that dough with Bake today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't hate that. I'll check the odds unless you have it on hand right now.
I do not have the odds. I'm seeing this guy drop 2 units on it, though, so it might be something nice. Flanders, if you want to check for me. I tried opening up FanDuel. See, and this is the thing about these sports books. You open it up. I wanted to open it up in my browser, and then I have 15 different security things I got to go through, all for it just to not work in the end. It's just ridiculous. I'm arguing for you to take my money. Come on.
One thing for the game tonight, I think this is one of the better plays just because, if you guys don't know, Waddle's out and Mostert is out, so
yep.
I'm big time off of the Dolphins. Bills money line with a Cook anytime touchdown and a Josh Allen rushing touchdown is plus 400 odds. What I got it at. Playing 10 to win 50, playing 10 to win 40, pay 50. So, 3 a.m. last night. Just put that in. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, man. Josh Allen. What's his matchup today? They're going against the Dolphins, so it's in Miami. Like you said, there's no starters really for Miami, and obviously no Bradley Chubb on the defensive side. That's going to be a big impact in terms of the run game. I like it. I think Buffalo should run all over him. What was that?
They lost Jalen Phillips earlier in the year, too, for that Achilles injury.
Yes, man. They're banged up going into this postseason. Honestly, a team that I'm going to be fading come playoff time is definitely the Dolphins. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. Anything else you want to touch on before we skate out of here?
I think we hit on a lot of shit. I think we hit on pretty much everything that I love. You want to give him a recap a little bit from your end?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop my favorite 3 picks through, that I gave. You give your favorite 3, and if Flanders wants to throw them in a lay, so be it. Flanders, let's hit something big today, right? So my 3 that I'm gonna roll with, I'm rolling with that Buccaneers money line. If you could get the first half in money line, I'm gonna take that. Also going to take the Mike Evans receptions over 4.5, like Funk Magic said over here. Funk with Magic. Where is it? Where's the comment? He said he was taking Mike Evans. And yeah, I think those are going to be my 2. And then I'm also going to add in that ETN anytimer for plus money, because the Buccaneers and Mike Evans are both going to be, minus 150, minus 125. Let's grab a plus money play to throw in there and juice it up a little bit. And I think we're sitting pretty.
Yeah. On my end, I'm going to take that Bills parlay that I just said a couple minutes ago. I think that's as you can get. I like that Boston Scott plus 340 for a touchdown. He's gonna get a touch, man. Hopefully he can score for you guys. And then I think the KJ Osborne 40 yards plus 205 odds is the other thing that I really like on mine. Before we get out of here, also, if you guys love college, I'm all over Michigan minus 4.5 for Monday.
And shout out to Andy B. He's been putting in the college football bets over with Sauce Network. He's been cashing out. I don't know if it was college football or college basketball, but he's been going crazy. And obviously got to give a shout out to my guy AB. So huge props to him. And yeah, I think we're gonna be tailing a lot of these college bets coming in from both Con and AB as we're heading into this March Madness come the next month or so. So I already placed a 5-leg. All right, I'll check it out once we're wrapping up for sure. But I think that's going to wrap us up for today. Con, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to do a ton more Strictly and MoSports collabs in the future. Appreciate you coming, talking ball. And thank you for everybody that tuned in. Flanders, Double R, Funk with Magic, everybody. AJ, appreciate you for tapping in. And we will catch you guys next week. Have a good football Sunday, and let's cash the fuck out.
Yes, sir.